Hey guys, and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed my little dance party at the start of this video. Honestly, dancing, it lights my soul on fire. Oh, I am already so sorry about the lighting situation. We're in this spot. Sorry about the sunlight. There is nothing I can do apart from post-editing, which sucks. I will try, but that sucks. Anyway, back where we are. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Henry and I am a circus coach and performer, and today's video is all about how a lack of flexibility can hinder your handstand progress. Okay, so some of the things that can hinder your handstand: tight shoulders, tight chest, tight lats / side bending abilities, tight upper back, and then also your wrist mobility. And then the more unusual ones that you would never guess is your hamstring flexibility and your hip flexors. When you have these problems, it affects the way that you move and can affect more specific things like your kick up, because the process is hindered by those body parts that just aren't flexible enough to get you to do what you need to do. Being tight and having a lack of flexibility in these areas also makes it tough staying up in a handstand, because the tightness in areas like your shoulders and your chest stop you from getting into the right position in a handstand. So first off, as I said, your shoulders can hinder your handstand shape. I'm going to talk about each of these areas specifically and maybe offer one or two exercises to help stretch or get a bit more mobility in those areas. So first off, we have our shoulders. Now, a lack of flexibility and mobility in this area means that your angle, so this angle here between your arm and your body, will be more closed when it needs to be more open to help you with a more aligned handstand shape. It's actually so hard to hold a handstand with closed shoulders. As you can see, I am struggling to even hold that handstand shape with closed shoulders compared to they are open. Okay, here are two exercises to help you with your shoulder mobility. So first off, you have the cat stretch. Now this one, it's really easy to arch your back to feel like you're getting more of a stretch, but you want to keep your back nice and rounded. So none of this, curl your back, and you really want to think about driving your shoulders down to the floor. Now I'm trying not to exaggerate this too much so that you can see where some people might be at. And when you gain a bit more flexibility in your shoulder mobility, you might find that you can come a lot further down. Really make sure you breathe through that stretch, because it can feel a little bit uncomfortable if you are really tight in that area. My other favorite one is a tabletop. So hands behind you, fingers facing towards your bum, feet planted, and you want to push up into the tabletop position and then come down. Push up. You really want to think about opening up that gap in between your shoulder and your body. If you want a little bit more in this stretch, you can rock forward as well each time you come up. Next, we have your chest. So this one is especially for the guys. If you do a lot of chest work, this will make things hard. If you are tight in this area, it will actually make it really uncomfortable when you're in that handstand position and you're having to squeeze the arm into your body. Now, this discomfort when you are having to squeeze them together might lead you to start putting your arms a bit wider to try and not feel that discomfort. Really, you need to take a step back, stretch out that chest, and then really try to make sure that you are keeping those arms nice and close in, because the wider you go with your hands, the more strength you are going to be using to hold yourself up in a handstand, and the less efficient you are going to be with your energy holding yourself up in a handstand. For your chest, my favorite one is where you put your arm at a 45-degree angle from your body and you lean over onto that side. You can kind of change the position of where your arm is to get where it feels tight. And you can kind of control how far over your body goes for where you can feel a stretch. Like maybe just even pushing your body weight over a little bit gets it. Maybe you need a bit more of a deeper stretch and you can get your leg over the top. Next we have your lats, and your side body sort of comes into this. So when you have really tight lats, this really essentially just affects your ability to be able to get your arms over your head comfortably. And you want to be able to do that because, you know, when you handstand, your arms are up here. So make sure you stretch out those lats. Basically, doing the little side bend is great for that. Or if you have extra tight lats, grabbing onto the side of a door frame and just leaning into those lats / your side. Your side body is less of one that you need as a beginner, because when you're wanting to do more advanced stuff like side bending, that is when you really need your sides to have a bit of flexibility in them. My favorite stretches for side bending is literally doing a side bend with the assisted arm over. And my other favorite one is literally in a cobra and coming over to one side. This one is really nice. And going over to the other side. Boom. So next up we have your upper body. Now this one is really common if you have a bit of a hunch from sitting over and working at a desk, but this one is important to work on because when you're hunched over, it really gives your handstand shape that banana back look, and by helping us to work on our posture and straightening up, this will help make our handstand a lot straighter. And not only that, but it'll align everything a lot better so that you are using less strength and bad form to hold yourself up. My favorite one for this exercise, because I still do it, I very much need to do it, is getting a foam roller, putting it about midway on your back, and then keeping your spine and your tummy neutral, so not arching or curving it down too much. You can either put your arms behind your head or up, depending on how much weight you want. And all you're going to do is you're going to lean back into the foam roller. You might not get very far. This is just about helping to open up that upper back. And you can do little movements here as well. Or you can stay down here at that end position and just relax into that spot. Another thing is I will link lots of videos up in the corner that kind of go more in depth into these stretches, so that if you feel like you have a particular thing that is more of a problem for you, you can click on those videos and you can kind of dive into more specific stretches for those areas. The next one that we have is your wrist mobility. Now for this one, it is pretty easy. You literally have your classic stretches to work on getting that mobility nice, to stretch out those wrists. And then the best ones that you can do is the stretching on the floor. Now this one you want to be really gentle with depending on where you are at with your wrist flexibility, and you can do it this way as well. It's just such a nice way of stretching out those wrists. And also to work on your wrist mobility, getting a 1 kilo weight and putting your forearm on a bench, and then you want to perform little wrist curls going up and then turning your forearm over the other way and doing curls going upwards. Next, your hamstring flexibility. Now this one is really important to be able to kick up to a handstand, because you are essentially trying to get your hands down on the ground while your feet are on the ground as well. And a lot of people do associate this kind of reaching towards the floor, but when you're first starting out, just getting something that's more of the downward dog position is so much better than this, which is a lot more advanced, and you won't really need until you're getting to more advanced stuff like pressing. So beginners, don't worry. Instead, working on the downward dog position, working to straighten those legs. So this might be really hard for you, and I just want to say, take your time, work on that hamstring flexibility and trying to get them straight. Another great one for hamstring flexibility for people that are struggling is standing on the edge of a chair with a weight, include that footage, and then slowly trying with your back not too rounded, just letting that weight take you down. Please be super careful with some of these stretches. They can be quite hard, and as always, do have my disclaimer down in the description. You do these at your own risk. / also just take it easy on your body. Don't go too hard too fast. That's when people injure themselves, even stretching, believe it or not. Alright, another aspect that comes into your kick up and then also your leg movement in a handstand is hip flexors. So tight hip flexors are really going to hinder your ability to be able to move your leg through movement. And then also things like your kick up, it's just going to probably feel a bit uncomfortable. So with your legs out in front of you, sort of on a 45-degree angle, all you're going to do is drop your knee down and go over to the other side. This one is such a nice gentle stretch and hip opener for your hip flexors, and it's such a good place to start. My other favorite hip flexor stretch for people is this easy version where you are literally jumping in this lunge position and then you are just tucking that hip under, and you're probably just at this point where this will stretch, but if you feel like you need more, you can wiggle that front foot out, keeping that nice right angle, and you'll feel that really good stretch throughout your hip. And also I will leave a link to all of the videos down below so that you can check them out, dive into more specific stretches. So that is the end of this video. If you found it helpful, please give this video a like because it really supports my channel, and hit that subscribe button to see more videos just like this, and the little notification bell to be notified whenever I release a new video. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Bye! Oh, the sunlight. This sunlight is not amazing for this filming. Oh. going to do the thing that I talked about. Yeah, that's not going to show up at all.